It must be said, Brock Purdy is elite. There's no more slander. There's no more qualifications.
Welcome into the fifth quarter. Claudette Montana, Robin Lundberg here with you to break down some of the top storylines from NFL Sunday Week 5. And we start with the San Francisco 49ers, who extended their streak of dominance, this time beating the Cowboys, moving to 5-0 on the season. Robin, do you think that they can go undefeated?
Brock Purdy may never lose, right? I mean, look, I do think the 49ers can go undefeated. I'm not saying they will, but they are capable of doing so. And it's because they have elite quarterback play. It must be said, Brock Purdy is elite. There's no more slander. There's no more qualifications. This guy can move in the pocket. He's got pocket presence. He makes timely throws. He can get the ball downfield, and he's accurate. Sure, he was put into a Maserati, but he's getting that thing from point A to point B without crashing it. Plus, he's got his arm out the window. He's cruising and styling. He's not nervous when he's driving it. So when you give him the receivers that he's got, Ayuk and Samuel, McCaffrey, the versatility of Samuel and McCaffrey, and that defense, there's a reason they are throttling teams like the Cowboys, who are actually kind of good, and that means they could go undefeated, yes.
I like that you gave Brock Purdy credit, because I feel like he hasn't really gotten the credit that he deserves. I feel like they're one of the most complete teams in the NFL. You mentioned all the weapons that he has: George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Debo. We could go down the list here. And then on defense, Fred Warner, he had a sack, interception, and a forced fumble last night. Played absolutely spectacular. They have won 15 straight regular season games. I just don't see anyone beating them. Their schedule is also pretty manageable if you take a look at it. Their next 3 games are against the Browns, Vikings, and the Bengals. I see them winning the NFC West, and I see them going undefeated. I really do.
What's the opposite of a juggernaut? Whatever the Patriots are right now, because they can't get anything going. Their offense is anemic. Mac Jones had to hit the bench for the second straight week. And the luster is starting to come off Bill Belichick a bit here, considering the miserable failures post-Tom Brady. So is it time for New England to move on from Bill?
Well, there's no doubt that the Patriots are absolutely horrendous right now. I mean, they lost 34-0 yesterday to the Saints. They're 1-4 for the first time since 2000. But I don't know how you fire a coach like Bill Belichick. This is a guy that's won you 6 Super Bowls. Sure, he had Tom Brady, but it's Tom Brady, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. I feel like, just based on how much of a legend he is, and he's 71 years old, he deserves to walk out on his own terms. Now, if you're Robert Kraft, I honestly don't know what the answers are. Maybe you actually hire a GM to help with some personnel, but they got to address some issues here because things are not looking good.
Well, that's the problem. He's at the root of the issues. He's the GM and the coach. I mean, there's no passing of the buck in this case. This is why joint statements were created, Claudette. The New England Patriots and Bill Belichick need to get together in the offseason. You don't do it in the middle of the season to embarrass him, and come up with the proper exit strategy. You know, we've decided after such a long time together, it's best for all parties to go their separate ways. We thank Bill Belichick so much for all he's accomplished here in New England. Meanwhile, we got to get good at some point again. You know, they need to do that sort of thing in the offseason because there's no path to getting out of this for the Patriots right now. They are bereft of talent.
Let's talk about another team, though, that did lose yesterday. The Buffalo Bills lost to the Jags in London. We saw a moment with Stephon Diggs getting real frustrated on the sideline, throwing a tablet. Do you think Stephon Diggs needs to chill out a little bit, relax?
Yeah, I mean, and look, I will defend in the heat of the moment reactions. You know, he's a competitor. If he has a moment of frustration because they're losing a game, that's fine. But this is now a pattern with Diggs here. And what I don't understand, what doesn't compute with me is, what exactly is his problem? What is his issue to be throwing his arms up in the air? Because he's got maybe the second best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, the only quarterback I can say definitively is better than Josh Allen is Patrick Mahomes, maybe Brock Purdy now. I'm just kidding. But, you know, he's in the conversation for the best quarterback in the NFL in the non-Holmes class. Not to mention the Bills have been a good team over the last several years. Yeah, they didn't win the Super Bowl, but they've been in the contender category. So I just don't understand Diggs' beef.
The emotions run high when you're playing football, and this is a guy I think that just really wants to win a Super Bowl and compete at an elite level. Yesterday, he had a season high 121 yards, but the offense didn't really start to get going until the fourth quarter. They were held to only 7 points in the first 3 quarters of that game. So I think what you saw is just a guy who was frustrated, and I don't have a problem with it. I don't. If he was getting in the face of like some of his teammates, I think that would be a different story. But we've seen Tom Brady throw tablets. Pretty sure Patrick Mahomes has thrown tablets. Whatever.
Yeah, no, the isolated incident, I'm with you. It's the reports before the season started that he was unhappy, going back to the postseason. It's what seems to be an emerging pattern that has me a little befuddled.